Hey there, I'm Deanna Wilcox, and I help women who are chronically ill recover their health and rediscover joy, peace, and freedom in their lives. Last week, we talked about how certain foods can cause inflammation in our bodies and keep us in a state of disease. These foods may also just generally detract from our overall wellness. This week, I want to focus on how emotions can have a similar impact. When we repress emotions over the long term, it can create an environment in our bodies that allows disease to thrive. It's also possible that we've been through sort of a singular event or even a short-term event that was rather traumatic. And it doesn't matter how pragmatically we look at the situation and think from this practical point of view that it shouldn't have been traumatic. It doesn't matter. It's the experience that we had that can make something traumatic. And the repression of the emotions around that event can do the same. It can create or allow the state of disease to thrive in the body. The pushing down or repression of our emotions and feelings can also reduce our immunity, and it can result in a psychosomatic expression. Some of the things that we might experience are just generally getting sick more often, experiencing depression and anxiety, carrying around an overall sense of tension very frequently, having heart palpitations, having mystery symptoms or a constellation of symptoms that could relate to almost anything and are sort of undiagnosable. These situations where doctors don't really know how to deal with what we're going through. Cancer, digestive issues, and so much more. If you're interested in learning more about this, one really excellent book is called When the Body Says No by Gabor Mate. It's a great book and one you may want to look into. So what do we do about this? Well, one of the first things is if you have been in the practice of repressing your emotions and your feelings and not allowing them to be expressed, I highly recommend that you get into the practice of very deeply and authentically expressing your emotions without getting caught in a negative pattern. Furthermore, expressing our emotions may not be enough, especially for those that we have been repressing for quite some time. So it's important that we go through a process of releasing these emotions and or transmuting them. This is a really powerful practice and one that I help my clients through. Before we go, I want to share a story with you. When I was a kindergartner and a first grader, I was a highly sensitive person, and I still consider myself a highly sensitive person and an empath. However, I've learned how to set boundaries and protect my energy. That being said, back at that time when I was younger, I was extremely sensitive to all of the energies going on around me. In first grade, there was a student who sat one desk behind me who tended to be in trouble a fair amount. My teacher was rather strict, and she was often directing her attention towards the student that sat behind me. That energy coming my way, I locked it inside of myself and often struggled with anxiety and digestive distress. I came home more than once, having had some rather embarrassing accidents happen at school as a first grader. And now I know, looking back on that, how much emotion I was locking down inside of myself, how much fear and anxiety I was experiencing over that. Later on, as an adult, having my very own son going to school for the first time as a kindergartner, these emotions started to come up. And I really struggled with his going to school, and I couldn't figure out why until a friend and practicing practitioner allowed me to discover this. And it was through multiple sessions with various people that I was able to fully release the emotions that I had buried from this time and to further transmute what was going on into something much more powerful and beautiful. I want to share this with you because it may not seem like a big deal to have been a little fearful in first grade, right? But it doesn't matter because our bodies store those emotions when we repress them. And I want to just highlight this so that you know it doesn't have to be this big traumatic seeming event. It can be something as little, if you want to say that, as an experience you had as a youngster that was scary. If any of this resonates with you, I want you to know these are the types of things I now help my clients through. I work one-on-one through personalized coaching and would love to chat with you if you think this is something that might help you to overcome your chronic illness. You can find me at thrivingwithdeanna.com or on Instagram at thriving_with_Deanna. Thanks for watching.